Hello, I have sunburn. I welded too much. But the frame is really good on this now. The cab mounts are a little settled, but as I measured at the bottom to the top here, it's the exact same dimension for basically where I need the gap to be and everything. Just the cab's physically settled a little bit, so everything's lining up the way I want it to, and it's actually way better than the driver's side. But it's good enough for me to drive and pick up some parts from the junkyard to make this nicer. So, here. That's the worst part is I could have probably smoothed out a little bit of where I had the flap wheel, get rid of the corrosion sitting back here. But everything around where the perch is completely solid again. I used parts of a spare Model A cross member that is sitting somewhere over there and just basically use that. A little bit of the flat steel that I bought an extra sheet of a while ago for the Model A frame. Just turned out really well. I'll try and get some pictures posted in with this. But right now, I'm just kind of stitching together the exhaust. I need to get breath. Yeah. So I still had the original arch over the rear axle and the exhaust pipe back here, and they had a garbage ratchet strap thing holding what was left of the exhaust on. And when I got the truck, it was just sitting in the bed of the truck. So I just straightened out the hanger, welded it back into place. And if I can find the one that goes up here, I'll add it to the exhaust system here. This is physically what it looks like so far. I'm going to clean that up actually after it's done welding, but yeah, there you go. I feel like I did a pretty good job just cleaning all that up. Reused the 3-foot section of pipe they had that was just really booger welded together, and yeah, you could see where the beds fell before and they kind of cobbled it together with welding the frame to clean up. But so far, frame on this side, really good. Frame on this side, not great, but not beyond, it's not as bad as a Tacoma was to deal with fixing all the time. But yeah, truck sounding way quieter. I'll get a video of it running down the road as I go to the junkyard today, and hopefully it'll continue to get quieter as I basically fill in more of the gaps between the exhaust sections that I'm having to stitch together. But I don't know, just kind of tired. Fixed an MR2 last night. I honestly don't know what this video will turn into in terms of random stuff I've been doing through the week of Thanksgiving and all that. But yeah, been having a good time. Hopefully I'll get the exhaust, or sorry, the steering box and ooh, that is a big thing. It's just sitting in there. But check it out. It's my steering column. It's tilt and turn signal. All I wanted it to be. Couldn't find one cheaper because this is a little fancier than what I want the Model A to be. And if sunlight hits it, I'm going to be blinded, but it's cool. So that's going to come through here, somewhere around here, and a few of the Festiva steering universals I've got spare of from the parts car stuff and just other racks. We'll connect it to the steering box here, weld the plate in after I take a few measurements, and hook it up to the drag link. But that's for another time when I'm less sunburned, because my face is way worse than my hand. So yeah, wanted to give you guys an update with how things are going. I'm just kind of enjoying having a nice weekend. Busted one, good one. Hopefully that fits. I mean, hood gap wise. Greetings from my shed. That's 20 degrees. So I gotta get that door inside because the outside trim where the window rolls up and down against the door, a friend of mine needs that. That's about it. Really cold. The doodad. Nice. Here's how to adjust our readout. So currently it's in park, but it shows in between park and reverse. So I will quickly show you. It's gonna take me a bit to get my head under here. So, one sec. I have to get a little funky with the camera here for you. Way up here, I just seen it a little bit ago and I was adjusting it. We are looking for kind of trying to refine this with you guys. It's a little cable for a cluster. It's actually pretty easy to get to. It's just you gotta know what you're looking for. Speaking of, okay, see that little beveled gear right there in the middle of the screen? That's what we need to adjust in order to get our alignment up in the indicator correct. So I'm just going to do clockwise, I suppose, and see what that does. We'll see if we can get this to stay up here somewhere. Oh, cool. What a friendly flashlight. And that made it closer to the reverse. So, yeah. So I need to go counterclockwise, and that should make it all aligned. Gotta get under here again. Now, where was our indicator? There it is. And yeah, part of why our adjustment didn't happen is, like most of them, it broke. So what we're going to do is throw a zip tie past where that bevel gear is, and wherever the bevel gear ends up being at, the zip tie will hold it to the good side of the plastic little adjustment so that it basically has to adjust. So I'm going to push down on that to where it's actually pushing where it belongs. And I'm holding it down. You guys are going to see before I do. We're good? Yeah, we are. Cool. So I'm going to throw a zip tie on that, and we're going to have the correct indicator on there. Hopefully if your plastic bracket isn't, well, broke like mine is, you'll be able to adjust that without having to put a zip tie under there. Hope that helps. I got tired of chasing a zip tie, so here's the panel taken off, and there's our adjuster that I'm going to hook a zip tie to the far side of it and basically force that gear to stay up to the plastic part that isn't broken yet, and that will fix our indicator because when I pull on it, ta-da! Alright. Sorry, neutral. Drive. Fixed. Ignore a check engine light, that's from an O2 sensor. Still looks minty. Heck yeah. There we go. Okay, finally got my phone to catch up with me trying to get this video made. So, quick way to properly, well, kind of safely fix the frame on one of these trucks to where I'm going to prove like everything's really safe. So, I have basically put jack stands, said it weird. So jack stands on either side of the frame. I've lifted up this side because I'm trying to remove all of the suspension load on the rear leaf. If it falls, it's only going to fall about 3/4 of an inch at most up here. So I've also got the actual jack. Not ideal. This is probably the most iffy part of it, but it's caught on a rivet that's sticking down just about 1/4 of an inch, so it can't slide at all because of how the plate is of the actual jack. So there's that, and I've got a jack stand over there keeping the frame square when this basically is resting down, as well as the same jack stand on this side. But since I'm trying to keep the frame supported as well as not able to twist at all, I've got the jack stand on this side that's lifted up all the way, and then some wood shims way over there. If my phone will cooperate, there we go. So yeah, going from that, we're now at this point where, where's my flashlight? Not the dimming one. Hold. Really? There. So, this is currently what we're dealing with for the frame. I had to hack on it because it would not let go of the bolt until I basically cut where the nut was in half behind it. So all this little cut marks are going to disappear. The other side of this frame is the gas tank about 1/2 inch away. So I've been trying to be a little cautious of how I cut things. Otherwise, this would have been done from the backside, not as hackery. So, the suspension's unloaded on this side. I have one lower bolt that's somewhat tight on the other side, and at most, the spring perch would have either rotated up on this corner or down, depending on basically suspension like compression. But I've just got the tire just a hair off the ground. And here's the bolt, if I can get this propped up where I want, or I'll just carry it with me. So, ta-da, ta-da, see? And right now, if I want to, I can move this perch if I can get my hand over to it. So, what I'm trying to show, other than everything in the way, is this is how to properly jack a frame up and safely do it. As you can see over there, just distant stuff. So yeah, trying to cover that in hopefully a not completely insane way. And yeah, other holes in the frame, like the parts of the spring perch area, are going to be fixed on this side. This is just the one where I've currently got where everything's in place where it should be, and I'm just going to be getting all the like garbage hecked out of the way and proper steel from the, where is it? Spare Male cross member is going to go in, because it's better steel than what the Ranger frames are made of. I think that covers everything. Other than we might get 3 spokes on it. Later. Lunch break.